What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I'm trying something a little bit different today. I went out on Sunday with my wife to get a couple things taken care of, and under the suggestion of through watching Sean Blue Digital's videos, shout out to Sean Blue Digital, check his channel out, he's got a lot of cool stuff over there, I learned that Dollar Tree has Blu-rays and DVDs for $1. There are 2 of those in my area. I had never walked through the door of one of those places. I had no idea that they sold DVDs in there. So I figured, what the hell, we were out and we were in the area of both of those. So I figured I'd go in and give it a shot, and I had a pretty good amount of success in there. So let me just show you what I got. The first thing I got was something called The Revenge of Robert. Pardon the light. I haven't got my new lighting in yet, so I'm still using overhead fluorescent lighting. I hate this stuff. Alright, so the story for this movie, for me, never even knew this was a movie, but if any of you out there have ever seen the television show or heard of the television show called Jack and Ozzy's World Tour, that is Jack and Ozzy Osbourne, and they generally, it's exactly what it says it is. They tour across the country, and they made a stop someplace, and Jack found a Robert doll. It was supposed to be a possessed doll, and he bought it basically to scare the hell out of Ozzy with it. And once I saw this DVD, I immediately, my mind went right to that TV show, and curiosity made me buy that. That and the fact that it was $1. All right, next up. Before I even bought this, I thought that I owned it, but I wasn't positive. But the one thing that I was positive of is that I did not have this slipcover. It is Piranha from a couple years ago. I actually, once I got home, I looked. I do already own this movie. I do not have this slipcover. And once again, this was only $1, so no harm done. Yeah, I remember this movie being pretty good. Like I said, $1, can't go wrong. All right, next up, Alfred Hitchcock's The Master of the Macabre. This DVD comes with, it's 3 movies. DVD number 1 is Murder. DVD number 2 is Sabotage and Jamaica Inn. I'm always down to buy anything Alfred Hitchcock, and if you can get 3 Alfred Hitchcock movies for $1, there's no way in the world that you can go wrong with that. All right, next up, House of the Witch. Also $1. I'm going to stop saying that now because all the movies that I bought at Dollar General were $1. All right, this says, it is Halloween night in a small town USA. My goodness, I can't even read now with my glasses. It's Halloween night in small town USA, and a group of high school kids dare to have a party in the old abandoned house at the edge of town. So it sounds like this is just like the other 8,000 haunted house, abandoned house movies that are out there. But I figure, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. I'm down to watch anything horror. This one, after I read the back of this, I actually thought of Sean Blue Digital. He's from Philadelphia. And this movie, The Church, is set in Philadelphia. Real quick, on the back of this one, it says, in this twisting, heart-pounding thriller, the pastor, Bill Moseley, of a once vibrant landmark Baptist church, now struggling to survive, is the sole holdout in a decaying Philadelphia neighborhood earmarked for gentrification. I saw this, and when I read the back of this, I was in that store because of Sean Blue Digital, and I saw this based out of Philadelphia, and I just thought that was ironic. Whatever. All right, and then we have Gangsters, Guns, and Zombies. I believe that this movie must be French. Either made in France, made by someone French movie with English subtitles. There's a lot of French writing on this. On the back of this, it says, an incredibly fun ride through a zombie-infested world where everyone is out to make a few bucks. And then directly underneath of that is a whole bunch of stuff written in French. So one would have to assume that this is a French movie. I believe that that's French. I took 2 years of French in high school. Don't remember a damn bit of it. All right, next up we have Werewolf of London and She-Wolf of London. 2 movies I always like to give a nod to the horror roots, and this looks like a perfect example of that. 2 movies for $1. Can't beat it. I may actually already have both of these movies in some format on some compilation somewhere, but what the heck. For that price, can't go wrong. Next up, we have something called Sam Hain in Demon Hole. And this came with Beneath the Mississippi and Legacy of Evil. So this one is 3 movies for $1. Those are the 2 that came with it. All right. Honestly, at that price, it doesn't even make a difference to me what the movie actually is, what it is, who's in it, or what it's about. For $1, I'll give it a shot. This one is just called Zombies. It has Tony Todd in it, and it is Cameron Romero Presents. So, Romero, zombie movie. Although not George, I'm wondering if Cameron is of any relation, or just it happens to be a coincidence that the guy who made this movie's name is Cameron Romero, and he figured it's a zombie movie, and his name is Romero. I'll throw it on there and see if that sells. It's a very good possibility that it would. Tony Todd, Zombies. So, yeah, zombie movie for $1. Next up, we have something called Aura. On the back of this, I remember it said something. There it is. Gives Blumhouse a run for their money. That, in my opinion, is a pretty bold statement. So, whether that statement was there or not there, I was buying this movie. But that statement, now I'm very curious. I want to watch this to see if that statement holds water. This one, I was not sure if this was a horror movie, but it definitely has a whole lot of horror elements to it. It says, absolutely fantastic, a perfect film. This movie is called Time Crimes. And it also says, one of the best time travel movies of all time. An off-the-rails thrill ride, a temporal chess game with nudity, voyeurism, and violence. Sounds like a horror movie to me. So, of the bunch, this may actually be the first one I watch. Either this one or the one I just looked at, Aura. Alright, so that was that for Dollar Tree. What was that, 11 movies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 11 DVDs for $11. So, needless to say, I was very happy that I came across Sean Blue Digital's channel, and he made me aware of that. Now, once again, shout out to Sean. Seems like a really cool guy. Lives in Philly. He's probably about an hour and a half away from me. So I thought that was also pretty cool. But after we went to Dollar Tree, we swung by Walmart because we were right there. And I picked up a couple more things. I got this for $5. And for those of you who were born and raised in the 70s, you will absolutely know what this is. I saw this a while back. I was very curious, and then I let it slip through my fingers, and I didn't buy it. Haven't seen it for a while, but they had one copy at Walmart for $5, and it is the Banana Splits horror movie. I am full-on anticipating that this movie is going to completely suck, but I loved the Banana Splits when I was a kid, and I can't wait to see this movie. So I have to assume that within the next couple of days, I'll be watching that. And after I watch that, look for the review on my channel, Project Ellsworth, the one you're watching now. I'll post a review of that, no doubt about it. All right, next up, I got 47 Meters Down Uncaged. This, I believe, was $12.95, so we'll just call it $13. I loved 47 Meters Down quite a bit, actually. And when this came out, Michael and I, Michael, if you're not new to my channel, or if not used to my channel, Michael's my 12-year-old, and he watches horror movies with me as well. He and I went and saw the first movie, and we both loved it. So we wanted to go see the second movie, and we never got there. So now we can watch that. Next up, we have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This has been out for a while, but I neglected to pick this up. Now the price dropped significantly. I got this for $12.95. I actually did a review of this movie on my channel the day after Michael and I saw this in the movie theater. I actually went back and watched that review before I came down here today, and it's cringeworthy for me. I had a terrible time watching that. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link to it down in the description below. But that was when I was first starting the channel out. I was pretty new to this thing. It's very loosely edited, and I did not enjoy going back and watching that at all. All right, and last up is another movie that I did a review of last year when Michael and I went and saw it, is Rambo Last Blood. There are a lot of people out there that did not give this movie a chance at all, just because they thought that their whole Rambo thing was like beating a dead horse. But I am here to tell you that the Rambo movie that came out prior to that was just called Rambo, if I'm not mistaken, was fantastic. Bloody, violent, to the point where I was surprised they were actually allowed to put that in the movie. It was outrageously violent and bloody. And this one is pretty much along those same lines. Fantastic. That was a movie I actually saw in the movie theater twice, which I usually don't do anymore. I went and saw it. I asked my son if he wanted to see it. He said he didn't feel like seeing it. He actually wanted to continue playing video games. That's why he didn't go. And then when I got home and I told him how good the movie was and he blew it, he missed it, he managed to talk me into going and seeing it again. So it was definitely worth going to see twice. And it is definitely worth the $12.95 that I paid for it. So yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, check that thing out. I'll put the link to my review of that movie down below. Also a cringeworthy review. That was before I decided to go full bore into horror movies, going that route. I was initially thinking about doing several different things on here, but I kind of ditched that idea, and I'm going to stick to the horror stuff. All right, well, I think that's it. This is the first of its kind of these that I've done. As you can see, I just put up these LED lights recently. You'll be seeing those in my future horror movie reviews. Trying to change things up a little bit as far as how I shoot my reviews down here. I will have box lighting, and I'm just trying to give my channel a more polished look. And those LED lights are phase one of that. So if you guys want me to review any of those movies that I just showed you that I just purchased, leave me some comments down below. If you have any suggestions of movies that you want me to review, leave those comments down below. And that's it. If I go on any more of these runs, which I probably will now, I can't imagine that I won't, I'll definitely do more of these reviews. I apologize for sounding like I'm stumbling and stammering through this. I have not done one of these yet, so this is kind of getting my feet wet. But what the hell? When you start these things, it's all like that, right? So I shouldn't feel awkward, but I still do for whatever reason. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that subscribe button. You guys take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day, and thank you for watching. Talk to you later, folks.